condolence. So if somebody died, we visit that person, give him condolence, and advise him to be patient and so on. There's few things that we should know, and condolence basically it's an expression of kindness and concern. But some people go there as a formality. They're like, okay, it's a tradition to go, and if I don't go, he might feel bad, or it's something not good. But it's we have to understand that as a Muslim, we see this condolence as a rewards time. We don't miss this opportunity. It's a lot of rewards. We will see, inshallah, what benefits it has. But when a person dies, the three most important feelings that he has in his heart, the very great feelings, is first is sadness, and he has impatience, and he also has this sense of hopelessness. So even though a person might be very knowledgeable, but during these difficult times, he won't remember all those ahadith that he heard in the masjid and the halaqat. He will get depressed. And when such emotions occur, the mind doesn't work that fast. So he won't be able to lift himself up. So that's why we have this important aspect in our life to go and go to this condolence gatherings and advise him to be patient and so on. This will, inshallah, raise his hope and reduce his sorrow and help him to be patient. So there is a way we do it too. In a hadith, we see the methodology, how should we go about consoling people. So most important thing that when we approach this person, we have to remind him that the life is very trivial. That's the thing. Once we get this message across, that will immediately bring that grief down. And we have to remind that we are, basically everybody is travelers. That's how we should view our life as. And we are going to go to another world very soon. And that life is like ever ending. So this life has not much value in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. For very few days you're going to live. And if you look 100 years from now, for example, 100 years from now, how many people sitting in this room would be alive? How many? Who will be sitting here 100 years from now? Is there anybody going to be alive? You can count people in hands today who are more than 100 years old. You can count on hands. We don't live that long. Everybody has to die. And that's the fact of life. And also, this is very important concept is that when somebody dies, right, we say he returned to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's in itself is a very big thing inside it. We are saying the fact that this body of ours, it belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's not ours. Why are you grieving about it? It wasn't yours to start with. The people died and they came from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and they are being returned to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we, inshallah, we will meet the person who died, and us, we will meet in Jannah together and we'll live there forever. If we give them these kind of words, it will really boost it, because they assume that Jannah is very, very far away, so they don't even think about that in those difficult moments. So if we say words like this, it will really motivate them and push them to patience. And also having reminders of being hopeful in Allah's mercy and so on. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ used to say, have taqwa of Allah and be patient. Have taqwa of Allah and be patient. Those two words he used to use a lot whenever he used to console people. On the Day of Judgment, inshallah, when we enter Jannah, we will see some people who are very well dressed, who are wearing green suits, very beautiful. So we ask them, what's so special? Your clothes are so good. What's so special about it? They will say, we used to go to this condolence and console people. That's the reward for them. It's a hadith in Hassan. Whoever consoles his brother in an affliction, Allah will clothe him with a green suit with which he will be delighted on the day of resurrection. And some other rulings that we should be aware of is that what if, for example, a person was known to be a big sinner, he used to commit sins openly, and if he died, should we go to such death gatherings? Uh, in Islam, we believe that as long as somebody is a Muslim, we are required to carry out all the duties and everything will be the same. As long as he said La ilaha illallah. So we should still go and console people, even if he was a big sinner. What if it was a non-Muslim? Can we make dua for their forgiveness? We are prohibited from making dua to a mushrik, and that is again a verse from Quran itself, where it is said that it is not proper for the Prophet and those who believe to ask Allah's forgiveness for the mushrikun, even though they be of your relatives. And Prophet Muhammad ﷺ also forbade eulogizing the dead, or praising the dead too much, more than basically crossing the limits. That is because whenever you do that, he said that it provokes sorrow and grief, and it usually involves boasting. But if somebody was a good person, for example a sheikh or somebody, speaking good about him is okay, but should not overdo it. That's a hadith from Musnad Ahmad. And also one of the things that's mentioned in the fiqh books is that it is disliked to have gatherings of condolences. Usually we see that people hold big gatherings after the dead. It should be avoided. And there's another hadith for it wherein Jarir ibn Abdullah al-Bajali said that we, that is the Sahaba, used to consider the gathering for visiting the deceased's family and making food after burying him both acts of wailing, which we discussed last time. Should not be done. So because it causes a lot of pain to the family, cooking, making them cook for the entire gathering and so on, that should be avoided. And Imam Shafi also said that I dislike condolence gatherings even if the people did not raise their voice with crying. That renews the distress and burdens the people with unnecessary expense. Okay. So some people think that if a person died, you have to give condolence in the 3 days itself, within 3 days. But that is not correct. Whenever there is a need for consoling people, we give them condolence. So it's not like fixed time. Whenever it's possible that after maybe a week or two they miss that person more. So at that time we should again go back to them and console. So there is no fixed duration for that.